who he is.
Yeah.
He can't be this perfect, idealized husband.
Yes, of course.
I have to be able to accept him for the human that he is.
Perfect. People be writing these books, man. These books is popping right now. You seen your girl last week, Jada Pinkett, was holding down the entire news cycle. And now this week it's all about Britney, bitch. Yep, Britney Spears back in the news for her new book. Britney Spears, The Woman in Me, is a tell-all memoir where she's talking about everything from her relationship with Justin Timberlake. I think news that came out was that, she was pregnant at one time with his kid. Justin reportedly was not interested in being a father at the time, did not think either of them were ready to be parents. And she had to have an abortion. They had to keep it secret. She had to do it in the crib. And it was hard. Understandably, you know what I mean? Britney's also speaking about things such as Justin cheated on her. He broke up with her over text. Said Adderall was her drug of choice at the time. She wasn't into the hard drugs and the cocaine and the alcohol, but Adderall was her thing. Speaks about a relationship that she had with Colin Farrell. Telling all. So a big part too, because we look at Britney, remember the whole Free Britney campaign, and then Britney comes out and she's dancing in her panties every other week on Instagram, you know what I mean? Last time she had the knives, you know what I mean, scaring the shit out of her dogs. It's something that you get concerned for Britney, and I remember it started back when she had shaved her hair. You know what I mean? No one understood really what was going on, and they all assumed she was having a nervous breakdown. But as she tells it, the head shaving was her way of pushing back from, the beauty norms that were put on her, the pressures that were put on her to look a certain way and be a certain way, and it was her way of fighting back and taking that. And I mean, more power to Britney, you know what I mean? If that's what it was. More power to anybody, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's getting slayed a little bit, you know what I mean, for writing these books and telling their story, but that is her story to tell, you know what I mean? Now, how Justin feels about it, how Colin Farrell, how, Jamie Lynn Spears might feel about it, they might be collateral damage in all this, and they also have the opportunity to write their own stories and tell their own parts of the story, whether it be true or not. You got to feel for Justin, though. You know what I mean? He catching strays every couple of years, because he was just catching this when we had the whole Free Britney documentary was out. Now he catching strays once again. So, Justin, I feel for you. Like, we not Eskimo brothers, but I think we both been with crazy women at some point in our life. And that just happens, man. You know what I mean? Also, I'm not really in the camp of holding somebody, I won't say responsible, but I'm not going to crucify you for things that you did in your early 20s. Like, you know what I mean? If we were all held to our lowest moments in our early 20s, I think we'd all have something to be ashamed of, you know what I mean? So to put it back up and point it in Justin's face, and, you know what I mean? That's crazy. Just focus on the new Trolls movie, dog. You know what I mean? And get it, you know what I mean? Just keep it moving. What could you do? In a week or two, nobody gonna care about it, you know what I mean? And let Britney get her money, let Britney sell her books, and then, you know what I mean, do what she gotta do. But, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, yeah, that's what happens. And we seen that this week. Moving on, what have you heard? Jada Pinkett, she came out and she was dropping bombs. Tupac had alopecia. You know what I mean? Will Smith and her been separated for about 7 years. You know what I mean? Chris Rock tried to holler. And she kind of had to go up on like the cleanup tour this week, you know what I mean? And you seen it. Jada Pinkett sat down with Fat Joe, you know what I mean, was sneaker shopping. I think he gave her some sneakers, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, address certain things. The whole Tupac was the soulmate. She's back on the Today Show with Hoda. Just did, the interview with Hoda. Back again with Hoda, rocking out on the couch. And it was a different tone. It was really to clear things up, and it was really like, it don't really seem like it cleared too much more up, to be honest with you, but it felt like somebody might have been hurt by the first round of interviews. Somebody might have been hurt by the first round of podcast visits and the press tour for it. And let's go back out there and let's see what we could clean up, as well as sell more books. Now I'll say this, man, I'm not on the bandwagon of making Jada Pinkett feel like shit. Like I don't even like the reception that she's getting because I think it's unfair. I think she lived her life and she has a story to tell. And the people making all these assumptions about her probably didn't read the book. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest. You know what I mean? Probably didn't even read excerpts. You know what I mean? Most of us get our information from headlines. So to sit here and try to slay somebody off of something that you probably didn't even click on is crazy to me. But also, I'm going to let you know that I think this whole situation is weird. To even put it out there and to kind of pull it back, to be like, we was separated, but, you know, still making appearances as if you weren't. But who am I to really be in her and Will Smith's business? That's their life to live. If they view divorce as just something, a cardinal sin and something that they never want to dip their toe into, that's they right to do. You know what I mean? And
find another great love, or if Will finds another great love.
There's no finding another great love, and I think that's the point. It's like we are in a place now that we are in a deep healing space, and we are really concentrating on healing the relationship between us.
So
people will be like, yo, Will, don't do this, don't rock out with her. But I think they talking about going writing a book, and I think that actually would be very beneficial to a lot of people out there, because we all live in these relationships that we saw done in the past, and they're supposed to be the ideal ones, and they're these fairy tale things that we've seen growing up, and 90% of relationships ain't like that, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to have to know that it's going to have to be a little bit of giving up yourself and giving up your ideals. Something I like that Jada said was
husband, wife, marriage for me, my healing process. I came into that with very specific ideas, right? Very specific ideas that were blocks to me just seeing Will as who he is. He can't be this perfect, idealized husband.
Yes, of course.
I have to be able to accept him for the human that he is. He accepts me for the human that I am, and we want to love each other there.
Okay, so you might...
I think it's dope, like, that she's out here talking about this, because I think that actually could help somebody else out, you know what I mean? Talking about her experiences with ayahuasca, you know what I mean? That might help somebody, you know what I mean? Look at the minimum towards plant-based medicine, you know what I'm saying, before they run into something else. Just talking about how she had her own suicidal thoughts and things that just starts to, you know, that took her to a dark place. I think that's great, because now someone, let me go grab that book. Let me go check out this interview just to see what she's saying, because a lot of people feel alone in these situations, and it's good to hear that somebody else is going through the same thing. So I know it's real easy to hop on the hate Jada bandwagon. And, you know, parts of this past 2 weeks with her doing these press tours, I was on the, you know what I'm saying? I'm not rocking with Jada bandwagon. But just as time goes on, I just realized, you know what I mean? One, ain't nobody gonna care about everything that she putting out a month from now, probably not even 2 weeks from now. And two, if you were to tell the story of my life, I don't know if I'm always going to come out looking like the good guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm always going to come out looking like the cool guy. So for her to be honest enough with us that, you know what I mean, and have that level of vulnerability with us that we can judge it and can look at it and can look at it from this standpoint where we might be able to point a finger at her, I think that takes enormous vulnerability, and I hope that's really helping her and Will on that healing journey as she said it is. Perfect Talk is what it do. It's your guy DJ Playboy, man. Thank you for checking out this short clip of the Perfect Talk podcast. Please go check out every episode right there on the YouTube channel. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.